Feyi.
Hi.
Look at
Good to see
you.
you.
Hey,
So
how are
good to see
you?
you. I'm good. You?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are
I've been
things with you?
watching.
How is Toronto? I see you guys doing all of your different
Hello?
protests. I'm proud of you guys. The way you involved the mayor of Brampton and all the nice work that the team there has been doing. Great, 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 great work. Great work to everyone out there. How are you? How is the unrest? How is the unrest in the Nigerian community in Ontario right now? How are people feeling
Well,
over there?
to be honest, everybody's just like down. And I mean, that's been over the past weekend. And now everyone is just doing everything they can to be happy. So I'm seeing like the groups are really getting more hyped and just everyone is trying to just raise the spirits because at the end of the day, we're all we have, right? And we move. So, so
Yeah,
yeah.
I hope you know that we are all we have. We have one another.
Mm.
And that is
Yeah.
why today I set 4 hours of my time up to really help people. You know, my husband was wondering, what the hell? How could you want to give them 4 hours? We have to do this and that. But I know one thing that I can't
Yeah.
just go on social media advocating without really helping people who needs it. The spirit
Mhm.
of the last 2 weeks shows unanimous work. It shows selflessness. It shows
Yeah.
contributing in every area that you can. Skill sets, money, time, and everything. And I have
Mhm.
decided that let's take that spirit, let's utilize that, let the health experts help us in helping other people move to where they can really do more, move to where they
Yeah.
can harness opportunities and raise their potential beyond what
Exactly.
they even can imagine at the moment. So I'll
Mhm.
tell you a little bit about Feyi. So Feyi is my sister. She's the daughter of my mother. So there is Feyi's mom is that perfect role model that I look up to as a
Thank
person. You know,
you.
she didn't get married early. She's very learned and she is beautiful. And when you don't get married early, people kind of give up on you. But when I look at her life, despite the fact that she took her time to put her life together before she said she was ready to get married, she's still thriving in her career. And she gave birth to 3 lovely kids who have continued to make her proud, make everybody proud, become selfless, serve humanity. And the 3 of them live in
Mhm.
Canada. So for you is that
Yeah.
plug. You know what I mean by plug? The plug that you put on, you put a plug into the wall and the whole place lights up. So
Thank
Faye
you.
came to Canada in the process. Our sister came to Canada. Our brother came to Canada. So she's the plug. She went into the wall,
And my
lights got
husband came to
turned.
Canada.
Yeah, and the husband came to Canada. So the entire family literally ended up in Canada. So she came to test the waters. She went to spread the news, the good news of Canada immigration. And before you know it, our entire family now lives in Canada. So I believe
Right.
that when it comes to education, Faye came to Canada without scholarship. So she has hands-on experience because some of you today will not be able to merit the scholarship that Professor Charles has explained. How should you get that? You can still come to Canada, but you have to pay for your education. So she's going to walk us through our journey, what it takes. If you're trying to come to Canada, you don't need scholarship. How does that work? I'll give you the mic now. You can get started.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction.
I did introduce you professionally, so you can do that one.
Okay, so well, yes, like you said, I'm Faye Macaulay, aka Feyi Mac, and I'm just this young professional living in Canada, trying to make headway and be successful in life. I'm a project management professional in one of the big 5 banks in Canada. I am a professional photographer. I am a YouTuber, amongst other things. So yeah, so that's me professionally. I have a YouTube channel called FeyiMac, and I basically just share information like this. And I'm so happy to be here to just give as much as I can because you guys know this is jackpot season, fam. The past few weeks I've just, you know, woken people up, and so I'm happy to just be available. And I'm so happy that Dr. Lubamiji is doing this, Dr. Addy is doing this, to share. Okay, so like she said, I came to Canada without a scholarship, and the fact is not everybody will get scholarship. Doctor, see, not all of us, like you rightly said, not all of us are able to secure scholarships. I studied mass communication in university. I don't know any scholarship for my program. Most of the scholarships that you see out there would be for STEM subjects, and you have to be really sound and all of that. So not all of us, are in that category. So yes, I applied to school here, and my master's was in public relations, and I went to Nova Scotia. So first thing I would say is look at the size of your pocket. I'm in Ontario now, yes, but I spent 3 years in Nova Scotia because it was just more affordable for me. If I had come to do my master's in Ontario, that would just have been, the price would have been really, really high. So definitely the cost is what should drive your decision, amongst some other factors that I'll mention as well. So I went to Nova Scotia, studied there. A few things that I learned during my time there as a student was, number one, make sure that you take advantage of bursaries and things like that. So even if you don't get scholarships, there are still bursaries. I got $1,500 in bursaries. There are bursaries in all schools you can apply for. So definitely, if you don't have a scholarship, no problem. You can still get bursaries when you come. Now, for the process of actually coming, number one thing I would say is make sure that the school you're coming for and the program is eligible for a postgraduate work permit, because you're coming to school, yes, but you plan to stay back, right? So make sure that the school is a designated learning institution. You don't have to ask for a link. Just Google designated learning institution and the list will come up. And it would show you what is eligible for postgraduate work permit and what is not eligible. Do not come and study a program in a school that will not give you postgraduate work permit. You will go back to Nigeria. So that's one thing that is very important that I know a lot of people make mistakes about. Make sure that it's eligible for postgraduate work permit. So next as well that I would mention is just to ensure that the program that you're coming for is one that is kind of in demand, right? So I studied public relations. I'm no longer in public relations. I still went and studied something else that was in demand just to put me, a little bit ahead. So one thing I would say for the process of coming here after you select your institution is applying to that institution. And I have a video on this. I have videos on like each step of the way. No, you don't need IELTS. I never did IELTS to apply as a student. Okay, so for scholarships and stuff, they might ask for IELTS, but when you're coming as a student, you do not need to do IELTS. Now, when you go on the school's website, as part of the requirements and the criteria, they will tell you you need to have IELTS, even when you click that you're from Nigeria. Brothers and sisters, pick up your phone and call the school and tell them, I am from Nigeria. Nigeria is an English-speaking country, and I do not need to provide proof of English or proof of language. Okay, so call them, let them hear you speak the English, or even email them, and they would waive it for you. If they don't waive it for you, you can get a letter from your school, so where you did your bachelor's, explaining that you did your first degree in English. Submit that letter.
I want to chip in there. So I have seen a college in Alberta who have refused Nigerians opportunity to study there if they don't have IELTS. All of the time I have seen that it's easy to fight that. I have fought the entire institution of University of Saskatchewan. When I was in school in 2012, I wrote a letter to the panel. I knocked down that IELTS.
Oh, the line is breaking.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now.
So I knocked down the IELTS clause for Saskatchewan. But what I know is that some schools that especially the smaller schools, some of them still have that limitation. There is no one single school in the entire country. I want us to talk a little bit about provinces, schools that are cheaper for people to look at. Like she said, not everybody will get scholarship. If you must come to Canada, what is the price range for a master's degree? Can we talk about that for a bit? Especially in cheaper places.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've heard of provinces like Newfoundland and Labrador, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia is, I feel like it's kind of in the middle. But definitely Memorial University of Newfoundland, that's one that is very affordable, and I'm sure you've heard that a lot, for master's degrees, postgraduate degrees. So it could range from, I'd say, 10,000 to 30,000 Canadian dollars. So it's, in fact, you even see some for $100,000, right? You see some over that. So it really depends. Like I said, the first thing is to look at the size of your pocket, because guess what? Tuition is not the only thing you're going to pay, right? So there's accommodation, there are other fees that would come with the school as well. If you're going to be doing room and board, there's that, there's feeding. And as a student, I'm sure you already know that you're not allowed to work for more than 20 hours a week off campus, right? So you really have to consider the cost of your pocket. There are a lot of Nigerians in Memorial University of Newfoundland, a lot. Yes, it's a remote province, but do you care? You know, go there, study on, you know, a smaller budget, and then after that you can move wherever you like.
I want to add something here. Canada is not like the US, where the ranking is very critical. You have to have gone to Ivy League or the rest of them. In Canada, we have U15. U15 have like top 15 universities that does most of the research that we do. And then we have the rest of them. The issue with U15 is everyone wants to go there, because if you want to do research, you want to target those U15 because of funding. Right. But it does not mean that there is priority given to people who graduate from those universities ahead of you. Nobody is prioritizing anything. I think because Canada is a skill-based system, right? All you need is have the right skill sets in your portfolio. Nobody cares where your degree is coming from. That has helped us as a country. I want to touch on what type of course you should take today. One thing that I've said, and I will say again, is this: we need to be careful when taking courses. What I see Nigerians gravitate towards, Africans in general, they want to come here and study business administration, MBA. They want to come and do MBA. There are some courses that are too generic. Canada is a specialist skill-based economy. If you have come into Canada to study MBA, then you come out as an Master's of Business Administration. There are some work that immigrants are not desired. When it comes to administrative work, it requires that you're able to smile at people. You are in direct contact with people. It is white people are more desirable as those people. Also, the skill is already saturated. It's already saturated the country. So if you have come to Canada to do an MBA, that's a waste of your money. That's a waste of your time, because getting a job is going to be a bottleneck. I'll give you another example: public health. Public health yearly in Canada, people who studied biomedical, biotechnology, microbiology, chemistry, all of them go and do public, including medical doctors, nurses, pharmacists from all outside the country who want to come into Canada. They all go to do public health. What does that tell you? That is a very saturated field. If you are coming to Canada, you can't afford to go and do something like that. If you go and do public health, can you hear me?
Okay, it's good now. Yeah, it's good now.
If you go ahead and say, because public health is the easy path, you go and register for public health, you have no specialization. You are going to graduate from that program after paying a lot of money and not get a job. Let me tell you how to spot a course that is saturated in the old place. A course that does not have funding is definitely a course that is saturated in the old place. If there is funding, it shows that definitely they are looking for expertise in this area, so the government is funding it. I understand not everybody will get scholarship. Some courses don't have funding. But did you know that even linguistics, there are funding? Because it is important for Canada to retain their power when it comes to heritage maintenance, which make it important for them to sponsor language studies and linguistics. You need to think, what is it that I can study? So I'm not saying don't go and study public health. But I can guarantee you that if you study public health, you may not get a job for 1 year. You may not get a job for 2 years. You remember that Dr. Addy said that.
Before eventually getting into the...
Yes, instead of selecting public health, you could select biostatistics as a course. You could select data analytics as a course. You could select something else that is more tailored, more specialized, and you could have a chance of getting funding. Even if you don't get funding, you are guaranteed that if I finish this course, I will get a job. Please don't waste your time coming to do an MBA in Canada. An MBA does not make you anything. It makes you a jack of all trades. It doesn't make you a deep or a specialist at something. As an immigrant in Canada, it is very critical that you realize that the competition is high. Every day, Canada is taking new immigrants. All of these people are coming, 20 years of experience, 30 years of experience. Some people are graduating from school here as well, who are building experience. Yeah. You cannot come here and do what everybody already do. You cannot come here and say, I want to do mass communication. First of all, you're African, you have an accent. That's a mistake.
That's my story right now. Do you know, sis? Hold on, sis. Do you know that you told me about this in 2014?
Yes.
You know, you mentioned it to me. We were in the car, we were in the Ikeja area. You came to Nigeria. You said, Feyi, what are you going to study in Canada? I said public relations. You said, Feyi, are you sure they will put you on TV? You have an accent. Are you sure you want to? Why don't you study something else? I said, that's where my passion is. That's where my heart is. My sister, I still went back to school after. Like, I just graduated. Not only that, we happy graduation. I just went back to study business analysis and process management.
Did you hear that? I am happy that I am talking about this with you. Because in 2014, when I came home, if we have hashed it out and say, when you go to that school, when you get in, change your major. If you have listened at that point, you won't go back to school again. But I understand people sometimes want to prioritize passion. They say this is not a passion. That your passion is going to lead to hunger. It's going to lead to hunger because you will study what you're passionate about. You will spend plenty
and there will be no job.
You will not get a job. So please, before you go ahead and say, I want to do MBA, or I want to do this mass communication, or I want to do public health. So let me tell you, if you choose a course, yes, they'll give you admission. First, there will not be funding. When you now finish that course, you will now be looking for a job for 2 years. We need to begin with the end in mind. You are not coming to Canada to go back home after it. You are coming to Canada so that you can be absorbed into the economy and make this place your home. So strategically from the beginning, I cannot stress it enough, the importance of what course are you going to study? Because it is critical also when you're applying for visa. So if you're studying some courses that has K-leg like this, visa process become a little K-leggy.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that the gravity of the course you study is heavy. It affects your visa processing. It affects your ability to function properly and get integrated into the Canadian system. It affects your overall morale. You remember coming here, working 20 hours, doing all of those work. I have somebody, I said it, I think on my last Instagram video. This one of my mentees who wanted to come and study religion and something else. So somebody coming from Nigeria, you have gotten admission and you want to come to Canada to study religion and culture. What nonsense is that? How can you want to come and study religion and culture? Do you want to teach Onyibo people religion? Or do you want to teach them their culture? Please, let's understand this. So
be very strategic.
We have to be strategic with the courses we select. Anything management is tricky because you can't, if you have 1 year experience, and you want to come here and do management stuff, it is expected that someone who wants to be a manager will have 5 to 10 years of experience. We have 20 years of experience.
And I'll chip in there. So management and MBA. So I feel like if you're already at a certain position where you've been involved, you've gathered a lot of strategy experience, a lot of management experience, a lot of process management, operations management experience, a lot of even HR management experience at that level, then your MBA would really work for you because then now you're at a stage where you're about to become an executive, right? But if you're literally starting from the bottom, trying to climb the ladder, at that point, the MBA may not really work for you. But what I would say is that it might get you into new grad programs that are specifically for MBA. Now, there's not a lot of those out there, but there are some of them that are specifically for MBA. So it's called, associate programs, rotational programs. They call them different things, but some of them are specifically for people with MBA. But that MBA would be good if you're already, like Dr. Addy said, you have 10 years of experience in strategy and operations, then your MBA would work for you. But before then, you have to think about what would get you your foot in the door. Like, what what specific skill, what specific degree is going to get you that foot in the door before you even climb up to the level where you have to be an executive. So yes, but
So
I'll also mention that
let's close that by saying any course you want to take, make sure is more tailored towards specialty, because Canada is a skill-based and specialist-based economy. I want to assure you that if you tailor your courses so that it's skill-based, it's going to help you a lot. Even sometimes when people have 20 years, 15 years of experience and come in here from Africa, they don't get management jobs. They will have to start from the bottom. If you're now going to start from the bottom and all you have is management, then it is harder. They will choose someone with a specialist skill at the bottom than you, because you all know, if you have experience of 15 years in Nigeria and you are a senior manager in engineering, you may come to Canada and end up getting a job as an entry-level engineer. But at least you will know, I'm able to get my foot into the door. So please, let's consider what courses we are taking before we go and waste money and be merry-go-rounding and wasting many years. Sorry.
And one thing I want to mention as well for this session is that for people that are running away from IELTS, and then you now want to consider coming as a student because money is not a problem, brothers and sisters, you're still going to do IELTS. It's very important. So even if you don't do it IELTS academic to come to school, when you get here, the pathway is like this. You come as an international student, you apply for a postgraduate work permit, then you apply for permanent residency. When you're applying for that permanent residency, it's still the same express entry. That's one thing I want to make clear. It's still the same express entry. If you're in the Atlantic provinces, you might be able to apply for Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. But in general, you would still be applying under express entry, whether for under the CEC, Canadian Experience Class, or Federal Skilled Worker Class program. So you're still going to do IELTS. So let IELTS not be the reason why you want to come as a student instead, because you think it's faster or it's easier. So I just wanted to put that out there as well.
Great. I want to ask, who should be considering student route? Feyi, are you still there? Can you guys hear me? Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. We can, and you're back too. Were you saying something?
So I was asking, who should be considering the study route? I would like you to touch on finance, also other criteria, like, okay, if you've tried PMP or other routes like express entry and this is not working, then go try the student route.
So for those of you who watch my channel, you know that one of my biggest regrets regarding this relocation process was coming as a student and not a PR. And that's because of the cost. Okay, so if you know that you qualify for express entry, right now you use the CRS tool and you see that your points are above 450, 460, 470. Please don't come as a student. Please don't come as a student. It is expensive. Let me give you a very good example. I came as a student, okay? And I paid for my master's as an international student. But I also became a domestic student because I still went back to school after getting my PR. Ask me how much I paid for a course that international students paid $20,000 for. I paid $1,000 out of pocket. So if you know you want to go to school to improve your skills, come as a PR first. When you come as a PR, first of all, that $20,000 program is going to be $6,000 for you as a domestic student. And then even that $6,000, by the time you apply for government grant and loans, you might not even pay anything. You might even get money in your pocket for going to school instead of you paying for it. So it's very important, if you qualify for express entry, please do express entry. If you do not qualify for express entry, you do not qualify for any of the provincial nomination programs, one thing I would say is, don't just do the CRS tool with your current state right now and say, oh, I don't have a master's, I don't have a second degree, my score is 400, there's no hope, I'm going as a student. No. Consider the program that you have. So for example, if you have a degree in law, I made a video about this. If you have a degree in law, that degree is not just a bachelor's. Don't just take bachelor's on your CRS tool. Master's/professional program is evaluated as a professional program through IQAS instead of WES.
Well,
okay, same thing with pharmacy. Same thing with medical degrees. If you're an oncologist, if you're a veterinarian, okay? So these programs are considered professional degrees, and they give you the same points as people who have master's degrees. So don't just look at it and just be like, oh, I don't qualify and that's it. I'm coming as a student to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Another thing you can do is get a second degree. If you don't have a master's, just get a second degree. So even if it's not a degree, there are certain certifications you can do. If you're an accountant and you have ACCA, that counts as a second degree, diploma, or certificate for express entry. If you can do Chartered Institute of Management Accounting, the certification, that one, I even heard that people do it within 6 weeks. People that are CFA or that are chartered accountants, they're able to study for the exams, get a lot of exemptions for some of the steps of the exams, and just do a couple of exams and pass it within 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And that gives them a second degree / diploma. CIPM is also one of them. I have a video on this.
All right. So someone is asking if I have OND, HND, and BSc. That can count towards a two program for you. Definitely.
Your OND and HND is 2 or more degrees. It gives more, even higher points than bachelor's.
So you have HND, you have OND, you have bachelor's.
OND and HND together is enough.
You can claim 2 points there. Somebody was asking if I offer like support for people applying. That is my bread and butter. That is what I do. So I have a consulting company called DTech Centrics, and I support people trying to apply to school. So you're
Doctor,
trying to
we can't hear you.
You want to first understand.
It's breaking.
What should I? Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Is it better now? Okay. So somebody was asking, do you have a advisory or support for students? That's what I do. And one of the reasons why I do this is because I realize that people waste too much time going to take courses that they will not thrive at because they don't want to pay Dr. Addy $150 to consult for an hour and tell you, do not take that course. That's bullshit. Don't waste your time, because I tell people ignorance is expensive. Ignorance is you don't want to spend money, right? You don't want to spend money, but you are fine with going to do MBA. And now you finish that 2-year MBA and you are looking for a job. Would it have been better if you have talked to a mentor before you register for that MBA, so they can tell you, don't take MBA, go and take this particular one? Unfortunately, someone is asking, do a video. I have to tailor this to your resume, to your criteria, to everything you have, what you're interested in. So I'm not also going too off. So it has to be personal. People have asked me, create a course. Let's buy the course. I want to create a course, but the issue is I won't be able to tailor it to you. Your credential, what you have, what you like, and how can I help you tailor it to make sure you are going to go study the right thing. I want to touch on another thing. A lot of people will also go to school. You will start the program and say, I've started. That is where you need a mentor. Figure it out so that the mentor will help you pick the courses you need to take. So you build the skill sets and the portfolio before you go and finish the program. Don't come and find me as a mentor if you have completely finished your program. It's too late. It's too late. And then you want me to help you find a job. How? When you were coming to school, why didn't you tell me so I can tell you whether that is the program you should take or don't take? When you enter into that program, why didn't you contact me so I can help you figure out maybe you should take a minor to support this? Now you have finished the whole thing because you don't want to pay $150 to Dr. Addy to help you figure it out. I want to tell you today, ignorance is expensive. Canadian process, any school process is not free, is not easy, is expensive. Pay whoever you need to pay to help you figure those things out on time before you go and waste time to go and be doing something that is way off. The reason why we are here is not because we want to collect money. I must tell you this. I mentored hundreds of people for free. But the issue is, the thing is, I have too many people who wants to be mentored. I cannot mentor 20,000 people. I cannot mentor 10,000 people. And my mentorship cannot be vague. I don't want to just be vague with everybody. So it is crucial to say, let's use money as a factor to see if the people who are not serious out. So if you're serious with your life, you're serious with your career, do the right thing. Pay for those one session. If you don't even want to do, like some people will say, doctor, I need you to check my SOP. I need you to check my resume. I want to check all of that, but I can't check it for you for free. I can't be, you will write your SOP on your personal.
Yes, let me use this opportunity to say that, please, you guys, I can't review documents. I get these messages a lot. One thing you need to understand is we have lives, we have our jobs, we have our side hustles, okay? So it's not, if 100 people message me right now to review documents, it's going to take me the whole week, you know? So like Dr. Addy is saying, you would have to invest some money into that. Me, I don't have a program like that yet because, you know, I rather just, you know, refer people to you guys.
Okay,
that are the professionals that is.
I will put some discount codes out so you can get some discount, because at the end of the day we are at a critical and tipping point. Nigerian youth must get access. As I said, you all know me.
Investing in
I am not hungry. I drive a good car. I live in a good house. I make a whole lot of money yearly. So it is not about this money for me. This money is to be able to sieve out the unserious people who will not show up to their Zoom call. Because if you pay $150 for it, 2 minutes before time, you carry your bed, sure you are serious. I will make sure to put out that the code for you. I want us to, sis, I think I took over your session. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
A little bit of your session. There are some things that I feel. I listened to my regrets. I want you to share some of those education regrets with people today, so that they can stand on the shoulder of giants like yourself, so they can see further. We don't want people to make those mistakes again. Please share a few more of those regrets with us.
Yeah. So, like I said, now number one is coming as an video. Is probably the most viewed video on my channel because truly I shouldn't have come as an international student, because I would have been able to come as a PR within the next year or couple of years. At that time the scores were pretty low, so I would have been able to do it. So like I said, look for all these programs that can boost your score before you decide to come as a student. So next thing was studying the program that I studied. Maybe sometime in future I would use the PR program, but right now my Master's of Public Relations is somewhere in a drawer, not being utilized in any manner. Okay, so definitely make sure that you search. So I have a demo on one of my videos. You can just go on indeed.ca and search in your province of choice to see what kind of jobs are available. Before you come and study something, go online and Google, because then there are a lot of lists about jobs in demand and everything. Some of them is just lists. Go and on indeed.ca, glassdoor.ca, you will see the reality of the jobs that are being posted. You will see the requirements, what they're asking for. Sometimes the answer to everything is not masters.
No.
When you come and you see people that are your managers, 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds, they're fresh out of school. Some of them, do you understand? So it's not about I have a master's, I have a master's. It's not about that. Sometimes it's not all about masters. It's about what about that program makes you different. So another regret, I guess I would say, is not applying for PR earlier. And now I don't for federal skilled worker program. Okay, so I didn't even use any experience that I gained in Canada for my application. The application that I did for my PR was based on my experience from Nigeria. So I could have done that a long time ago. I could have done that earlier. So even when you graduate, I think you can even do it while you're in school. Try it out. Apply for PR while you're in school. And when you get your PR, you tell them that, look, I'm now a domestic student. What is now my tuition fee? What is now my tuition cost?
I did exactly that. I did converted from an international student to a local student in my 3rd year of my PhD. I believe that is possible. We don't have a lot of time. I want to touch on a couple of things. I want to touch on the fact that what you said, sometimes masters is not the answer. I'd like to encourage you here. Before you go ahead and say, I need a master's degree, it'll be good to sit down with a mentor or someone. Determine what is the pathway that is best for me based on the experience I have today, the certification that I have in my hand. Then they can help you look at it and say, I think you should go and do a 2-year diploma in this field. And they can help you understand, because it's not enough to say, I've checked on Indeed, this is the job that has the most opening. What if that job is going to pay you 43,000 per year? After you have come here and spent a whole lot of money, that job is on demand. But let me tell you, you cannot have a balanced life. You will be earning below budget. So you need to be talking to someone before you make decision and say, this one is the one I saw is plenty on Indeed. That's the one I want to do. We need to understand what is the pay scale of that job. Number 2 is, what is the 5-year prospect? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I hear you now.
Hello, can you hear me? What is the pay scale? What is the 5-year to 10-year prospect of that job? So that job, is it, when we look at digitization is going to take a lot of jobs. It has started taking jobs now. We have to look at that job and understand. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We have to understand whether that job, or if I take this field, or digitization is not going to go and clamp my job down in 5 years. Let's choose project management, for example. In the 5 years ago, project management was so hot in Canada that if you have a PMP, they'll pay you 120,000. That's like the thing. Everybody was going to do project management because they were paying them hot. 5 years later now, the pay has come down from 120,000. Most people with PMP now earn 60,000 each up, right? So we need to understand that you need to see beyond to understand what I'm about to get into. What is the 5-year prospect of that program? So that you don't finish and then you're at a point where that job is about to tip. It's about to tip and change path. Right now, for example, business analytics is the hot thing. Everyone wants to do business analytics because they think, oh my God, everybody is in demand. Now, the understanding here is to evaluate the 5-year path for business analytics. To understand that 5 years from now, people will still be making 80,000 upward. Or it is no longer like that. It is not going to be like that in 5 years. So make sure as you are doing your Indeed evaluation, you are talking to someone. Don't particularly come and talk to Dr. Addy. What I have used this platform to do for you today is to give you access to other people. You don't have to come to Dr. Addy for everything you need. You don't have to register to Dr. Addy's programs if that is not the one you want. But I want to make sure that I am letting you know you need to do 2 things. You need to be ready to do a lot of things yourself, but you need to also go talk to someone. Do not make that complete decision without having to speak to someone who has lived that experience. You need to, I want to warn you, do not entirely do your Canadian immigration process and not talk to someone. Please don't do that, because I don't want you coming to Canada and $40,000 and end at 5 years. Well, and then you'll be seeing Dr. Addy, she's winning awards, she's earning all this money, and you are wondering, I've seen people who will say, yes, I'm depressed in Canada. You will be depressed in Canada without a mentor. You will be depressed in Canada without good strategy. You will be hungry in Canada when everybody is driving Lexus. I'm telling you, if you don't have the right people in your corner, you will do merry-go-round in this Canada. You will be doing $45,000 job when somebody will come out of school with computer science degree and be earning $125,000 and Shopify because they have a mentor. So don't waste your time because you don't want to have a mentor. You think you know it all. You don't want to pay someone because you think you know. Don't waste your time doing everything. You will do it yourself, but go tell somebody so they can let you know whether you are on the right path. It is very important. I'm tired of seeing Nigerians living basement. I am tired of seeing Nigerians, they make it to Canada, they have been doing one nonsense job that doesn't make sense, that paid them $35,000, and they are coming to show up on Instagram. Shut the hell up. You don't even need to have Instagram page. You are mad. Your mate should not be having Instagram. You are any 40,000 a year, you are having Instagram. Instagram was not designed for you. Go and shut down your Instagram and go and find a mentor so you can put a strategy together for your life. Instagram is a leveler. All of us come here and say we live in Canada. Let me tell you, I lived in basement. I suffered in Canada. So I can tell you that I understand this pain. When I was still living in basement, people were calling me Dr. Addy. because I was Dr. Addy, but I hired mentors. I paid some of them. I didn't pay some of them. I didn't get all of this knowledge free. Some of it I paid for. I got $500 for a mentorship program. Somebody taught me some of the strategies that I use today. To invest in your life. They say I have vex. They say I should be coming. I am not kind of tired when people come to Canada and they are not successful, and they'll come and write this epistle on Instagram on how they are not successful. You heard from Feyi. Feyi is my sister. I want Feyi in Nigeria. Feyi, this course that you want to go and do. and that is the thing. We cannot just say it's just me, or this is what I'm passionate about, or I want to do it myself. I don't want to pay anybody. I don't want to talk to anyone. Find someone, have a mentor. It doesn't have to be Dr. Addy. Make sure that mentor is guiding you right. Not the mentor that will tell you, go and do nothing. Nothing is the way forward. Some of us didn't do nothing. We had double of the money nurses here. So don't go and talk to people who will tell you one way direction. Go and do nothing, nonsense. And that will be it.